So KG, one of my goals for 2022 is to invest in real estate. Can you tell me which one I can do? I'm glad you asked. We'll talk about that in a minute. Hey there, this is KG. I'm a realtor with Fairfax Realty in Greenbelt, where we help buyers to buy their dream home and sellers to sell their houses. And we do this in the Maryland, DC, and Virginia region. And we also help investors to invest in real estate. So if you're looking to buy, sell, invest in real estate, definitely give me a call. We'll take care of you. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to get updates once we upload a new video. So one of your goals for 2022 is to invest in real estate. Boy, am I glad you decided that, because investing in real estate is one of the rewarding things that you really can do to guarantee your return, and build generational wealth. Listen, not only am I a realtor full-time, also a real estate investor, and I've been doing this for a minute there. So what I'm going to discuss with you, the 4 types of real estate investment that you can do, is what I'm doing right now, what I've done, and what I'm doing. So let's go on this journey. Your goal, invest in real estate. Yeah, it can be daunting, right? You read all the newspaper, you watch all these videos, like which one should I do? Listen, let's break it down so you can know which one you can do, you should do. So here's the high level. I'm going to go into detail. You can become a landlord. Yeah, you can become a landlord. Or you can become a landlord and rent your house to Airbnb or Viable. You know about that, right? You stayed at Airbnb. Yes, I've stayed in a lot of Airbnb. You can flip properties. Yes. Are you watching those HGTV, flip this house? You can do it. Or you can invest in REITs, real estate investment trust. So let's break it down. Become a landlord. Yes, become a landlord. Of course, by now, I hope you've already bought your house, your primary residence. So before we become a landlord, you want to become your own landlord first, right? So hopefully you've already bought your first house, right? Your primary residence, you're living in your house. So now you want to invest. So how do you become a landlord? If you don't have cash, not a lot of people have cash to buy. You should have credit and you have some money down. Most lenders will give you loan for 80% loan to value. That means you need to come up with 20% to put down to buy an investment property, to become a landlord. Or alternatively, you can buy a second home, right? Upgrade from the house that you're living in and buy a new house. And then the house that you're living in right now become your rental property. You can do that. So what is the risk for being a landlord? Well, repairs. You have to manage your property, but you definitely can hire a management company. You have to have people skills to deal with your tenants. It has risk, so you need to know that you have tolerance for that risk, right? If your tenant does not pay, what you're going to do, you have to have those things covered. You have reserves so that you can take those things, be able to deal with it when it comes, because it's going to come. But the good thing with being a landlord, and first of all, your tenants is paying your mortgage. Yes, they're paying down that mortgage. So that means you're getting equity. You're getting cash flow right now. That means you're getting some money in your pocket. You're getting tax break when you file your taxes, because you're a landlord. All the repairs, all the expenses on that house is part of your tax deduction that you're going to take from your taxes. Of course, contact your tax attorney, tax accountants. Don't take my word for it. And you're saying this is what I do, right? So becoming a landlord is rewarding. You get to provide a house for somebody, and then the house takes care of you. Years, 10, 20, 30 years, you sell that house, you have some chunk of money. Second one, you can buy a house and rent it out to and do Airbnb or other short-term renters or Viable, right? Yeah, people do a lot of it. They buy a house and just set it up and then do Airbnb. Have you stayed in Airbnb? I've stayed in some Airbnb that are fantastic, and I'm looking at the people, they're making a lot of money. Yeah, make money is high risk as well. You have to be a good host, because you don't want to be dinged in the Airbnb website, right? It also requires money if you're going to, and also require different type of insurance. Definitely you want to insure your house, but because you're Airbnb host, it requires a different type of insurance. But the caveat with Airbnb is in the DMV area, District of Columbia, Maryland, and Virginia, the governments are clamping down hard on doing Airbnb. Like you cannot just buy a house and dedicate that house to Airbnb. No more. DC now require, well, all of them require a license, but DC now requires that you can only rent a house if you're not living there for 90 days in a year to Airbnb. You can only do Airbnb for 90 days in a year. So you cannot buy a house and say, I'm just going to dedicate this house to Airbnb. Not anymore, but you can live in the house and rent your basement to Airbnb or a room to Airbnb. I mean, that's another way to look at it, right? Other areas, some part of Virginia are still lenient with Airbnb, buying a house and then renting it to Airbnb. I mean, you doing it, using that house strictly for Airbnb without you living in there. It's IREITs, I return IREITs, but you know, before you embark on that, you want to check your local government's rules and regulations before you do that. The third one is flipping property. Flip this house. I mean, how many hours of flip this house have you watched? If you're interested in real estate at all, you have watched those shows. Flip this out. Somebody make 70,000, 80,000, 100,000. Listen, come down to earth. It's not as easy as they say. It's a show. This is real life. If you're going to flip properties, you better know what you're doing. I always tell my investor client, you make your profits when you actually buy the house. You don't make your profit when you sell the house. What am I talking about? When you buy the house, that means you buy low, do your renovation, and sell high. So if you overbuy, you're going to be at a loss when you want to sell the house, because that renovation is going to, something is always going to be wrong for real. Your budget is going to be over no matter what. If you say kitchen is 4,000, 5,000, something is going to happen that your kitchen is going to end up with 8,000. So you want to know what you're doing when you're doing flipping properties. You can get lenders, hard money lender or regular lender, or if you have money, cash is king, to buy a property and be able to have money to do the renovation. The downside with flipping properties is you need to be available to supervise that renovation. You don't want to give it to your contractor and walk away. You're going to be sorry if you do that. So you want to have the time, the energy, the know-how to be able to go in when they're doing the renovation to check it out, because you want to make sure they're doing quality renovation. Quality renovation will give you quality price when you're ready to buy, when you're ready to sell. So you have to have that time, the energy. Flipping property is not what I recommend for a first-time investor. You want to actually shadow somebody that is doing it, so you kind of get an idea before you jump into it, because you can lose lots of money real quick on this one, flipping property. So please, when you watch those shows, know they're shows. They're not real life. When everybody is doing the work, you flip property, you do the work yourself. No, you don't. You get contractor, your contractor have to pull permits. I mean, a lot of things behind it. So flipping properties, high risk, but also high gain. Is that what you want to do? No, before you get into that. Last but not the least is REITs, real estate investment trusts. These are companies that own, in most cases, and operate income producing real estates, hotels, shopping centers, or offices, apartments, motel, commercial, property. So you can buy stocks or shares or whatever they're selling with REITs. this one require low money to get in, right? They actually have REIT index fund as well. So this is one of the ways that you also can invest in real estate without owning a tangible real estate. You just own the stock. So I'm so glad your goal is to invest in real estate in 2022. You definitely want to talk to me. Not only am I doing it, I can advise you and guide you. So listen, if you want to invest in real estate, that you should do this 2022, contact me below so that I can get you started. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to get updates once we upload a new video. Ciao.